Look at this smiling face. Millions of people walk through it every year expecting a simple, happy amusement park. But step through that mouth, and the smile fades into a set of operational realities that defy standard market survival. Running this specific park involves a collision of physical and legal constraints that should make success impossible. Amusement parks belong to what economists call the quinernary sector, businesses providing domestic and recreational services. They rely entirely on discretionary income, meaning they are the very first thing families cut when the economy gets tight. Yet Luna Park is actively growing. It generates massive profits inside a financial trap that would kill a normal business. The immediate threat is geography. As you can see from this aerial view, the park is completely landlocked, wedged tightly between Sydney Harbor and a sheer cliff face. There is zero room to expand. Then come the legal chokeholds. Under the Luna Park Site Act of 1990, the property is bound by strict heritage curfews. Even worse, the wealthy residential neighbors surrounding the park enforced a zero-tolerance noise limit of 85 decibels. If a crowd on a ride gets too loud, the park faces massive fines. These internal weaknesses are compounded by modern external threats. The target audience is actively being siphoned away by sprawling suburban destination parks and high-immersion VR lounges. By all traditional metrics, a mature operation choked by this specific combination of geographic limits and strict regulations should be rapidly sliding into the decline phase of the business lifecycle. Because management couldn't build out, they pivoted to the one asset suburban competitors lack: location. The park sits right in the shadow of the Sydney Harbor Bridge, minutes from the central business district. Capitalizing on direct adjacency to the Milsons Point Transit Hub, management deployed a free gate entry model. By removing the admission fee entirely, the barrier to entry drops to zero. This tactic captures an immense volume of casual foot traffic. Passive tourists who have no intention of riding a roller coaster wander in, and a percentage of them inevitably break off to buy high-margin food, drinks, and merchandise. Management converted a tiny footprint into a massive competitive advantage that sprawling, out-of-town megaparks simply cannot replicate. But a free gate doesn't solve the curfew. How do you maintain revenue when strict local laws force your outdoor operations to shut down early every night? The answer was a hard pivot to the business-to-business, or B2B, sector. Management utilized their sound-controlled indoor venues, like the Big Top, to host highly lucrative product launches, private corporate functions, and concerts. Simultaneously, they rolled out a dynamic e-marketing app. By capturing user data, the park pushes targeted discount notifications during off-peak hours, maximizing the yield of their narrow daytime operating windows. This targeted response to their SWOT analysis, evaluating their internal strengths and weaknesses against external opportunities and threats, neutralized a massive operational vulnerability and turned it into a highly profitable, weatherproof corporate revenue stream. The final hurdle remained: modernizing the core product to fight off high-tech entertainment competitors, all without adding a single square meter of land. Management secured a massive $30 million capital injection to completely gut the park's outdated, space-inefficient machinery. They replaced them with 9 high-tech, high-density rides. Instead of spreading out horizontally, these new attractions utilize vertical space and inline seating, packing maximum thrills into minimal acreage. By deploying dense, targeted capital investment, they shattered their old capacity limits. They proved you don't need endless physical expansion to scale up your operations. This is a chart plotting the standard business lifecycle. The common assumption in commerce is that once a business reaches post-maturity, it inevitably enters a steep downward arc into decline and cessation. But the geographic hacks, the B2B pivot, and the $30 million capital injection forced the curve away from collapse and back into an upward climb. Luna Park artificially triggered the renewal phase, engineering a complete commercial rebirth. They demonstrated the survival power of a ruthless, continuous audit of their weaknesses and threats. True strategic brilliance is not about having the most space or operating with the fewest rules. It is the ability to ruthlessly optimize your product inside the inescapable box of your constraints.